Welcome to the Evening Gamer. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Guy. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We got to stop saying that. We feel like
Stop
Backstreet Boys. We're bloody having breaks all the time.
I can honestly,
I know. Well, it's life. It's life. It throws some curveballs at you and you just got to duck and weave.
It is.
Keep standing.
I was about to say that I've been prioritising gaming over the podcast, but that's also not true.
I mean, could it be defined as prioritising gaming over the podcast when we need to game to do the podcast?
Yeah, I know. That's a fucking great point. I've been playing. You know what I've been playing?
What have you been playing?
Again?
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, again.
Mate.
You sent a screenshot of what's your hours up to now?
I'm up to like 14 days.
Oh my word. 14 days in the Elden Ring lands.
You know, I love that game. It's just, it's a game that just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
Like this is now my 6th run through. You know why? Is because I was always going to do the DLC a second time.
Okay.
Which I'm doing this run through. And obviously the DLC becomes accessible halfway through the game.
Yes.
So I was like, you know what I'll do, Guy? With Night Rain coming out, fuck knows when.
Soon, I think relatively soon.
Is it? It's mid this year or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a complete run through. Complete.
Yeah.
Everything, every cave, every side of grace, every like storyline, every possible ending, Fia's questline, Rani's questline, halfway through the game, I'll do the entire DLC and I'm going to stretch out this last play of Elden Ring until Night Rain comes out. It's an all-timer.
Weren't one of our fans, we were having a good old message with him not that long ago.
Yeah, we convinced him I think we convinced him to give it a go because I'm always fucking hammering on about Elden Ring.
Yeah, well, we should give him a shout out. Oh, it's my brother from another mother.
It was Benny Boy.
Yes, he was talking about getting into it and we were giving him some tips on it.
Yeah, I gave him a few recommendations of quest lines.
Yeah.
That's how responsive we are. You have questions about a game.
Yeah, you
it's
write in.
It's a high probability we either know a lot about the game or we've played it.
Very true. Well, yeah, I mean, oddly enough, we got a few messages of people sort of saying there was a couple of game series, sort of Final Fantasy, Monster Hunter, and there was sort of another one I think we got messaged on that you and I had just never really dipped our toe into. I'm trying to remember what it was. But I mean, Monster Hunter recently came out, and I am eyeing that up for my next game. About something like 8-9 million concurrent players at the moment. Like it's Capcom's most highest selling game of all time or some crazy record.
Did you hear it has poor optimization for some platforms?
I didn't hear that. I mean, if 9 million players are playing it, it must be pretty bloody tasty. So that
is a good point.
I'm keen to get into it. I think it'll be good, but it's Capcom. You know, in Capcom, I feel like Dragon's Dogma was Capcom-y kind of.
Yeah.
So I'm like a little bit wary on it.
Yeah, and what else have they done? What else has Capcom's one of those publishers that just randomly pops up like.
I mean, they do heaps.
Obsidian.
They do heaps.
You really enjoy a game. You go, who made this? And you find, it's Capcom.
Yeah.
I feel like I've played a few of their
Capcom,
games.
I think Street Fighter could be one of theirs. Jeez, you know, I feel like some of our listeners are going to be screaming at us going, how do you not know their marquee ones?
Do you remember any publisher?
What's Snake Eater? What's he from?
No idea.
He's like
Tekken?
No, not Tekken. Tekken's somebody else. Fighting games are never my forte.
Mortal Kombat?
Snake Eater's they're about to redo a new one. God damn it, this is going to annoy me.
UFC.
All right, you talk and I'll Google it.
He's just a real person in bantamweight division. You're just getting your wires crossed.
No, hold on. I need to find this out.
Do you ever remember any of the developers and publishers' intros? Do you remember the Activision one?
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you remember Tony Hawk Pro Skater and the Activision was the eye and the spear would come through the eye?
Yes.
How much of like a lived experience is that as a kid?
I mean, even like films, you know, some of those intros. I always love the Family Guy one where they keep like faking you out with intros and Peter's sitting there and he's just complaining as it's like, this looks interesting. And then it's like...
Ominous man in hood intros.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a plane's coming in, landing, flight productions. That's actually quite funny.
That is very funny. Metal Gear Solid is the series.
That's not the first time in the last 10 episodes you've mentioned Metal Gear.
No, because I remember somebody writing in and I was like, it is such a sort of, you know, crazy series. But now I'm really questioning, is it even Capcom? Because we might be going down a real...
we could have corrections next week.
Published by Konami. Oh, fantastic. Well, why the fuck are we doing a gaming podcast?
Yeah. Yeah, shit. You know what else we got to talk about today is first impressions. We've got to launch first impressions today and we're going to talk about Avowed, aren't we?
We are. We certainly are. Avowed is one that I'm currently playing right here. And I'm probably about halfway through at this point in time.
Nice.
So I can give a fairly good first impression on it. I know you've been giving it a bit of a lick. And I got to be
Bit of a
honest,
lick?
Yeah, a bit of a taste,
A
bit of a
sucky
taste
suck?
test. Oh, hey now.
Twiddling the
And
fingers a bit?
this game, I've been chatting to Ollie about it because he's currently playing the second one of that fucking fantasy game. God damn it.
Final Fantasy?
No. This is terrible.
Kingdom Hearts.
No, jeez.
See, we're just a
I gotta
game show right
yeah,
now.
I know. If I don't have my notes, honestly, I'd just be sitting here with
That's the
my thumb in
title
my
for
mouth.
this episode, The Game Show.
God, it's coming back to me. Anyway, so he's coming upstairs and he's seeing me playing and he's going, how is it? And this game is like, it plays so well. Like I feel like it's actually really smooth. The fighting and the way the controls work, it's probably one of the best I've seen in that. And they've really perfected what sort of Skyrim was, that first person, defending all the rest of it. But the storyline is terrible. I don't care. I'm Xing through chat as fast as I fucking can because I'm just not interested at all.
Yeah. And it's almost like when you're reading a bad book, you find yourself playing just to finish.
Yeah, that is the state I'm in right now.
If you actually think about gaming as a hobby, is actually the worst reason to game.
Yeah.
Gaming to finish is, I reckon... Actually, that's a question for anyone listening. What was a game that you just, halfway through, you just played to finish?
Well, geez.
Because you were like, you know what? Yeah. I spent $90 fucking on this. It's in the hard drive. It's 60 gigs. To just hedge against the chance that I might download this again in the future, and to save myself that hassle, I'm just going to finish it. What was that game for you?
Well, I mean, do you remember? I think last season we did an episode where I've started keeping a list of all the ones where I get halfway through.
Yeah, and that was actually a long list.
It was a very long list, and I think with the promise we've made this season of buying games, more recent ones, so we're sort of a little bit more up with the times and not doing back catalogs. If I buy Monster Hunter and I don't like it, there goes $120 down the drain.
Oh, it hurts, eh?
It really does.
Bring back EB Games and JB Hi-Fi buying the disc.
Well, yeah,
Maybe you'd walk in, it was $70.
So that's true, but you know what I'm doing now? I'm going to EB often because there's one not far from me, which is, for those of you in other parts of the world, is our version of GameStop or whatever. And I'm in there looking at the secondhand games, going like, what is the, some of that Star Wars game that came out by Ubisoft that everybody fucking hated. Like,
Jedi Survivor or whatever.
No, that one was good. It's the other one or whatever it was called, stupid one. That one, I'm assuming surely the price has dropped on it. Surely by now it's been out for a while. The price has got to drop. Still probably about $80, $90, and I can't justify it. But the worst thing about it is sometimes I'll find one in there, and I saw Ghostwire Tokyo, which was rated fairly well and had a lot of updates and was sort of after the fact. People were saying it's actually now a pretty good game. Yeah, bought it, took it home, put it into my Xbox. Realize it's on Game Pass. Could have gone for free.
Oh, no.
So, lesson for anybody. If you're paying for Game Pass, don't be buying old games. Check it there first before you part with your money. The game I couldn't remember is Kingdom Come Deliverance. And Ollie's playing the second one right now. And
that's right. That looks good.
It's fantastic. He's saying the AI in that is some of the best AI he's ever experienced. Like, it's really intuitive.
Procedurally generated or
no,
AI
like the AI of like the enemies and the NPCs.
Oh, right.
They're super interactive, and so one of the things he used as an example was whenever he goes into a new encampment and you've got the guards roaming around or whatever else, they change their lines every time. So it's like, it's not where you do it once. You can't learn it. Yeah, you can't learn it. So you're just on the fly having to figure it. And if you haven't showered in a couple of days, you hear them go, can anybody smell that? Like, what stinks?
That's crazy.
How crazy is that?
That is crazy.
So
I like that.
I'm pretty keen on it. The one thing was I played the first one back when that came out, and the fighting is a little difficult to learn, and it's because it's not just hit A to parry. It's like point the analog in the direction the sword's coming and
like
hit it at the right.
Twin stick.
Kind of. As you're fighting them, you have to really be quite good at the blocking and the fighting element of it. Which is the Avowed is probably a simplified version of that, where it is just click one button for block at the right time. Yeah. But the Avowed thing is just sort of that's sort of why we're comparing notes, because it's very similar in that an enemy coming at you and sword fighting and these kind of things.
Of course. The combat experience is similar, but the kind of mechanics are very different.
Yeah.
This is kind of like the next era of combat.
I think so. I think they've upped their game.
It's not just one button anymore.
No, well, I mean, like obviously there's plenty of games where there's a variety, but more, the directional stuff is quite a change up. And Ollie's saying, he's the second one, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, has really upped the ante and perfected it all very well. So, I'm very tempted, but I think we should have him on to talk about it because he'll do a great review of it.
Let's do it. In other announcements, something I'm very excited for is it looks like, is it Game Freak and Nintendo? Pokemon ZA was announced later this year.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like they're actually trying to get closer to like a Breath of the Wild kind of thing.
Shit, okay.
I don't know. They say that and they'll probably spend 12 minutes developing the game again. But who knows? Pokemon's going to be one of those things that we're going to be like 90, be like,
well,
have our fucking trading cards.
I saw recently there was, I don't know if it was the TV show or if it was the games, but somebody top up in Pokemon was like, we plan to keep this going and we think we can keep it going for like 100 years. Like they've mapped it for so long.
I don't doubt it because it's timeless and it speaks to kids. So you're training the next generation on this thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's where Digimon went wrong.
It's going to be wild if you and I are in our 90s and we're playing Pokemon cards. And we're going to be sitting there going like, here's my OG Charizard, bitch.
Mate, the first thing that I doubt is I have to make it to 90.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll push him there.
But today, Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 2 is the review. I'm very excited.
Speaking of recent games,
yes.
Silent Hill 2. Yeah, you'll another classical Taylor review. I'm actually fucking nervous for this one. I feel like I've gotten in my own head about my reviews.
We're going to keep you on track. I'm with you on this, ride or die.
Okay, are we going into it?
Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2.
I just want to say, firstly, before we go, that this was a fucking good game, man.
Okay.
Like, this was a game that, exactly kind of what you said. I picked it up. I wasn't sure about it. I was like, fuck, am I going to uninstall this?
Yeah.
Like, because I think, like, for me, I play such a vast variety of games.
You do?
That it changes pace on me so much.
Interesting,
and
yeah.
I'll get to talking about it in field mechanics, but there's a pretty strong pace change. But like you go from Apex Legends to Silent Hill 2, and you're like, why can't I wall jump right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so the change of pace was something for me, but
I find it really interesting you mentioning pacing because there's obviously two ways you can define the pacing. There's sort of the pacing of how the game flows and the wall running, or like if it's a bit of a slower game and you're slowly walking down corridors. But Grady, our friend from the States, raised to me the concept, and I haven't, and we haven't, probably thought about this when we talk about the storyline in a game, of the actual pacing of it. Because I realized that pacing in the story of it is so crucial that, like, you're playing a game, the first level pops off. It's GTA 5, it's crazy, you're killing cops, you're running around, it's nuts. And you're like, wow, this is picking up, I'm invested.
0 to 100 kind of stuff. Yeah.
Then the story kicks in. You're meeting Michael's family, and it's like the kid and this, and it's like the actual sort of meat of the story flows in. And, if it's a great game and they're interesting conversations like they always are with GTA, and the kid's, smoking weed and, he's telling his mum to shut up or whatever the story goes, you get invested. You're engaged in it.
Yeah.
But think about how many fucking games where the pacing falls off a fucking cliff and it grinds to a halt. And I reckon that's almost part of the reason that I dropped a game. Like that ninja one that I was playing not long ago.
Wukong?
No, not that one.
Oh, right. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Playing it, storyline, boring as hell. And I got to a new area and I just realized, like, there's no story here. The pacing's way off. And that's part of the reason you just go, the gameplay's not good enough to carry this for me.
To really capture you.
Yeah.
Keep you in the moment kind of thing,
I'm 3 for 3 with referencing games and not remembering the name of them.
But I was just going to say, as a new rule, when you can't remember the name of a game, I'm going to have one guess. And if I don't get it right, we're just going to fucking move on.
We're moving on.
So Silent Hill 2, firstly, just so good. So first impressions were so good. So let's get into it. Storyline. Well, firstly, actually, this is a remake of the 2001 Silent Hill 2 game. So this was already actually a game that came out 24 years between drinks, and I'm so happy they redid it and didn't do kind of like, like a rebranded color version, because it actually played really, really well. It's also an extension of the first game that was published in 1999. Look, there's been different developer teams on this, but it was published by Konami Digital Entertainment, Japanese developers, and the team that published and developed this was called Blooper Team. So they changed the name of the teams that do the Silent Hill games.
The game was Rise of Ronin, just for you playing at home.
There you go. Nice. Let's start with storyline.
Yep.
Mate, I haven't been this engaged or touched by a storyline in a game for a long fucking time.
All right.
Because the first person experience, it's an over-the-shoulder third-person game.
Yep.
But in terms of the first-person experience that the cutscenes give you and the storyline that it wants to allure you in is so engrossing and engaging that you're actually waiting for the next cutscene, which is something that I never do. I'm always like, fucking cutscene, all right. And it's like what you said the other day in an episode, or the other week in an episode, it's like slowly that the phone creeps in front of you.
Yeah,
between you and the screen, and there's a cutscene. Mate, not in Silent Hill 2. So you play as James Sunderland, who's looking for his wife, Rose. If you've watched the Silent Hill film, Rose is the girl that wanders in there originally.
God.
I couldn't find any direct correlation because the husband in that movie actually isn't called James Sunderland, but there seems to be some connection or some throwback to the lore here of the developers.
Jeez, Rose walking into that town. Man, if I'm ever in the States and you're doing a drive through the city or, the countryside, you see Silent Hill coming up, I'm turning around.
100%. But he gets a note from his wife saying, meet me in our favourite spot in Silent Hill. And so he ends up in Silent Hill. And one thing that the game does...
she sends him a note?
Yeah, that's what he gets. And one thing this game does so well is it plays...
Has he seen the movie? What's he doing? If my misso was meeting Silent Hill, I'd be like, you're on your own, bitch. Get an Uber out of there.
He just rocks up at Silent Hill being like, wait a minute, I've played this game before.
Yeah, this place looks really familiar.
2 years ago.
What's with all the mist around here?
Well, that's what I was going to say, actually, is it plays so well in the Silent Hill world.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the movie, but it is fucking horrific.
Yeah.
When you jump between the darkness and the light world is misty. It's like your typical post-apocalyptic zombie town that you walk into, where it's just foggy, signs are swinging, everything's abandoned.
Nice.
It looks like the last thing that swept through there was something that took everyone and left just this kind of pathway
barren
of death and misery in its wake.
Man, the atmosphere in any of these kind of horror games, because I'm thinking of Alan Wake 2, because that was really good for that kind of thing, where you feel the skin, the back of your neck, and you're just like, I like the noises and stuff. It kind of creeps you out. It's good.
Yeah. You go on this journey with James Sunderland, him looking for his wife, and as the player, you kind of have this eerie feeling that he's not really kind of following his wife. He's never going to find her, that he's kind of there alone. He's there for different reasons. You meet different NPCs along the way that are all kind of fighting their own demons in this place. And the way the game presents Silent Hill in this game is very much like your own version of
fighting
hell.
their own demons?
Like your own... Well, yeah, kind of. Your own version of hell in which you kind of face your inner demons.
Right, okay.
That's very much how it presents itself. The storyline was phenomenal. The cutscenes, phenomenal.
Nice.
Just honestly could not take a mark off. Do you want me to do the ratings as we go or at the end?
Let's do it at the end. But, that's sounding really strong. Nice.
Feel and mechanics, pretty good. I've played actually a few horror games, especially on controller, over-the-shoulder third-person games like this. There's an element of shooting. There's an element of hand-to-hand combat. You've really got to defend yourself. It plays actually pretty smoothly. The only thing I would say is it's still a little bit slow, but I think this is intentional. In horror games, they don't want you to be able to escape and move fast and dodge heaps.
Yeah.
They want you to feel vulnerable in the game. And I think that Silent Hill 2 finds a really nice balance there of kind of how it flows, the mechanics. You have a dodge, you can punch, but it's really all slow. So timing and spacing is really important. And if you're going to run, you better get a fucking pretty good head start.
Jeez, yeah.
Because you're pretty slow.
Did you find yourself screaming at the computer, going come on, get going, son?
I'm pretty good with I'm a bit of a horror nerd.
Right.
I guarantee you, if you were to name 10 horror films, I've probably seen 8 or 9 of them.
All right, let's go.
I was one of those
The
kids.
Exorcist.
Yes.
Okay. Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
The one with the Australian guy?
Oh, are there different versions of Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah, there's been a couple of them.
Because there are a lot of horror movies where there's Cabin in the Woods.
There's Cabin Fever, but Cabin in the Woods has Thor in it. The Australian guy, big Thor dude.
Look, maybe. Let's put a question beside that one.
Two.
Well,
Cabin in the Woods is it's probably it would be horror. It would be horror. You should watch it though. It's really good.
Yeah, but I love it how I can't just get away with embellishing a story of mine. You're like, let's put this to the test fucking immediately. And I give you the benefit of the doubt by telling you the truth. Anyway, so I'm a bit of a horror nerd, but playing this game, there were times I was clenching.
Yeah.
And you know what they did really well? No jump scares. Like,
nice.
There's this whole section of this game where you're in the darkness and you have a torch, as with every horror game. You enter a fucking hotel, it's all boarded up.
Yeah.
The power's off, right?
Right.
You've seen this story before, you've seen this movie.
They didn't pay the power bill.
But it draws your attention to particular places where there's an item, and right behind the item, if you look at it for long enough, you can see one of the enemies. Oh. And you're like, I can't get this item without facing this thing, and it's just looking at you, and you're just looking at it. And there's all these really eerie kind of moments in it, without it being like jump scares. Like one thing that I remember is you were speaking about a game not too long ago. I think it was Alan Wake 2, where it takes you through a section of the game where it's like skeletons on the screen screaming and stuff. Like, Silent Hill's not like that. Cool. It's very much like your headset. It's dark. You're walking around, you'll notice things, but it's completely up to you with how you engage with that.
Nice, I like that. You know, because we talked about it being like jump scares like that are a cheap scare, you know, but a good scare is where you know.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't overwhelm you with different items. Like you have something for close combat, you have a couple of different guns. Yeah. So there's no need for like a weapon wheel. You're not kind of sifting through lots of menus to find throwables, things like that.
Nice.
It's just really the immersive experience around storyline and the feel mechanics in terms of shooting and fist combat.
Nice.
So feel mechanics really, really good. Challenge and entertainment, I gave this pretty high marks as well, purely from the entertainment piece. I think in terms of replaying areas, look, I probably died. Actually, it gives you your stats at the end of this game.
Oh, yeah?
It tells you your playtime, how many times you died.
That's cool.
Like how many gun kills you got, how many like stomping kills you got, things like that. But the entertainment value here was super fucking high. Like there's mini bosses, and a big part of these games are actually the puzzles.
Yeah.
Now the puzzles, you can again choose the difficulty, which I haven't played a different difficulty, so I don't know how. Yeah. Is it less puzzles? Are they more hard? I don't know how that works.
Right.
But solvable as long as you put the time in.
Yeah.
A few things that had me scratching my head here and there, but if you stare at it long enough, you get it. Did not Google once. So solvable, achievable puzzles. Mini bosses, not too hard. I mean, how much combat variation can you have in a horror game that's over the shoulder where you only have a dodge button and a shoot button?
Yeah.
But still, there's a survival element to the mini boss fights. They're rewarding in terms of what you get from them. So challenge and entertainment through the roof. And on top of that, you actually make your way through this game. And if you were to string together all of the cutscenes from this game in terms of the interactions you have with NPCs and the story it tells you, you'd really actually enjoy that mini film.
Yeah, right. Okay.
You really would.
Nice.
You really get on board with kind of James Sunderland and the demons that he's fighting, which are some fucking pretty big demons. Yeah. As his memory comes back to him about what's going on.
Right.
And from an entertainment piece, huge. Challenge, could have been more challenging, but who likes a super challenging horror game? That's not really why you're there to get scared and shoot some zombies in the fucking head. Character development. Again, I've just touched on it. Really, really great. You make your way through Silent Hill. There's multiple different areas in which you learn a little bit more about your character. There's the village. There's the hotel. Wouldn't be complete without a hospital scene and kind of like a bit of a throwback to a psychiatric ward. There's this place called the Cube, which is each kind of entrance is like a different memory for him.
Okay.
And then there's an underground and a prison. In terms of the character development, really, really good. You go on an absolute journey with him. I've already spoken a lot about that.
I'm assuming no like skill level upping, you know, RPG kind of thing. You're just the dude with the gun and you find a few things along the way that helps you.
That's exactly right. Like one of the best finds in this game is actually a flashlight.
Yes.
Which it is on most games. Because a lot of horror games, let's be honest, are filmed on the dark side of the fucking moon.
Yeah.
So when you find your flashlight,
do you like upgrade any items? Like, does your handgun get it? I mean, does the torch attach to the handgun? Is armor piercing bullets come into it at all? Or?
No, he sticks it on his coat. So you just
like
kind of flick it on and off.
One or something. Like, okay.
One thing I will mention though is one of the NPCs he meets has a striking resemblance to his wife.
Okay.
And he mistakes her for his wife a few times.
Jeez. He's gone to a lot of effort. He doesn't recognise his missus.
But that's the beauty of this, is kind of like this power struggle between him and Silent Hill in terms of him feeling safe, throwbacks to his life. It kind of sucks him in with, really familiar flavours for him. Like, it's essentially like a demon that looks like his wife that's kind of coaxing him through this town. So yeah.
Okay. So is the woman a demon that looks like his wife?
You want me to give spoilers?
No, you don't. No, don't give spoilers. So okay, all right. Okay,
that's just how I interpreted it, and
Yeah,
that's a good thing about a game that has a solid storyline.
Yeah.
It's like a good movie. You know?
Yeah.
You kind of come out of it and you're like, what do you think of that? Like, what's your fandom fucking conspiracy about it? You know?
About what?
Like the movie.
Oh, right. Well, geez, it's been a while since I've seen it. I always get confused between Silent Hill and The Mist. Have you ever seen The Mist?
I think I've seen The Mist, but I get confused between The Mist and Strangers. Did you ever see Strangers? With
Oh, man, I always get confused between Strangers and that other one, The Purge.
Let's keep going back.
Have we seen all those movies?
I get confused between The Purge and The Walking Dead.
That's a weird one to get confused between.
That is a weird one.
Yeah. What was I going to say? The Mist. You know the thing. Just I'm really taking this off on a tangent here. The Mist. This is a piece of movie trivia that I feel like I love, and I'm just recalling it as I'm saying this. So The Mist was a book first, and I think it was written by Stephen King, famous horror author, and it got greenlit to make a movie, and some director, I can't remember the name of the director, it's probably, he changed the ending of the book. So at the end of the movie, what happens is the guy and a few of the other survivors who were sort of in the mist realize it's all fucked. Like, there's no way they're getting out of it. It's a nightmare scenario, and they've got a handgun with like 3 bullets. So the protagonist decides he's going to pop the other people in the car, and they're all willing and wanting for it because they know it's just death and disgusting ways of dying. They've just witnessed an absolute horrific, 90 minutes.
Go out on your own terms,
yeah.
kind of thing.
So the camera pulls away, and it's like pop, pop, pop. You see the light in the car go off, and I think as he's about to eat it, or maybe, or he can't do it, or something, or the bullets run out, or something, the army rolls in.
Oh my god!
And he's just sat there going like, 2 more seconds, and like we all would have walked out of here. And he's like, and Stephen King apparently when he saw the movie was like, that's better than the ending of the book. Like the director of the movie did it better than what he wrote in the
There's
original.
a lot of shock value to that because it puts you in that position.
Man, how that's just
What's
after
your
what he's
takeaway
gone
there?
through.
Always be the one with the gun.
Well, the takeaway there is like, just never give up, I guess. Just like, never take the easy way out no matter what.
Did The Mist, did that go on to motivate Cloverfield?
It would have been maybe an influence.
Because the Cloverfield series ended up having like 4 movies or something.
Yeah, well, like they were. Yeah, I think they did 2 that I remember, and there was the OG one, which was that handy cam kind of crazy one in the city in New York, and then the second one was in the the bunker underneath with John Goodman being a creepy kind of guy. It was very different.
That was a good one.
That was a
man.
good one. Yeah, very different
highly.
tonal sort of shift in those movies, but
So character build,
yes,
good. Loot and extras. I mean, how much loot and extras can you have in a horror game? You find what you need, and I'm a huge fan of less is more.
yeah.
You find your different guns, and it's really good when you find, like, you get a shotgun really late in the game, and I found myself questioning, like, when am I going to get like a really high caliber gun here? Because most of the time you're actually walking around with just a handgun, and you finally find a shotgun and then a rifle, and you're like this. And just like that rewarding experience of slowly rolling out those weapons, like you've got to earn them, is such a callback to what gaming was back then in when this originally came out, 2001. And just rolled out a really nice cadence. On top of that, you find letters in the different areas written by people that obviously lived in Silent Hill
Yeah.
before all this happened, because it actually is a real, I don't know if you haven't seen the movie, but it's a real spot that people used to live in that went through a horrific like coal fire event.
Oh, right.
So that you find lots of little trinkets along the way.
Did you end up reading the letters in full when they popped up on screen?
Yeah.
Is it one page with like 2 paragraphs, or are we talking like your scroll and text?
It's not like Starfield level bullshit.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
You'd be
yeah.
Why am I
Mate,
reading this?
Avowed has that. Like it's text on text. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing like that. They're all meaningful and they're short.
That's
which
good. That's great.
I was a big fan of.
Yeah,
Because
nice.
You know what was really bad for that? Was Remnant 2.
Yeah.
Do you remember those journals you used to find in Remnant 2? They were like
Yeah.
4 or 5 pages. You're like, well, I didn't buy a fucking short story here. Like, just
Yeah.
summarize it. Do it in bullet points if you need to.
It's interesting. Like in a game that I'm really enjoying the lore, sure, I'll have a bit of a squiz and read it a little bit. I'll
give it
probably
a chance.
I might
Yeah.
read the first 2 sentences and then maybe the last paragraph to get a bit of flavor for it. But if they're unrelated to a quest line and it's just like, and this is what I'm feeling with Avowed, they've gone to a lot of effort to build this world, and the world they've built, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. No, but everything in this game is more useful. Like, you don't pick up, because you don't have a build. You're not wearing armor. You just have guns and you have things that you need. And like, when less is more is done well like that, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to mark it down in this area.
No, I think that's fair. I'm putting myself in the shoes of going, if I was in Silent Hill and I'm writing my final letter to the fam, how long am I going to write that?
Yeah, and it's also like, yeah, exactly right.
Oh, you're like 2 pages in. I'm like, I ain't even reading this myself.
Yeah, exactly right. And then there's the other considerations, like, no one's even going to fucking read this. Like, we're all fucking yeeting out of this place.
Yeah. Does the postman come through
Yeah,
Silent Hill and collect it? Like,
look, all in all, a really well-rounded game, a fantastic remake. Who is this for? This is for anyone that likes, obviously, horror. I mean, that's a dead given. But anyone that likes discovery, anyone that likes walking in the shoes of their protagonist and going on their journey with them. And if you have a bit of a stomach for pretty horrific places, because this gets pretty intense sometimes.
Nice.
There's some areas you get stuck in. There's cockroaches all over the walls and floors. I would recommend watching Silent Hill before playing this game, just to make sure you got the stomach for it. But if you do, a beautiful game.
Nice.
All round.
What was the graphics like? Was the cockroaches crawling on the wall? Was it,
Yeah. No, really good. I ran it on my 4070. So,
was it spinning up fine?
Yeah, it was actually really... No, it played really, really well. And I played it on M&K. So I played really well on keyboard as well.
Nice.
But, yeah, like it just... Yeah, the graphics were great. And it also does this thing as well where you pick up a radio early in the game, and whenever there's an enemy around, it starts to like...
Static.
Yeah, the static, which is actually in the movie as well.
That.
And so just the whole experience of it really adds to kind of that feel.
Yeah. Because that's good. I mean, like if you start hearing static and you're looking around and you're like, which corner are they at?
Yeah.
Like,
And you're thinking, is it a cockroach that's going to bite me, or is it a fucking 2-fingered monster that's going to jump out at me and
Are
start
the cockroaches
boxing me
like big? Are we talking arachnophobia?
No, but you've got to
or?
look for them in a dark room, and it intensifies. The radio sound intensifies as it comes closer.
But I mean, but are the cockroaches big? Like,
they're like fucking the size of
like a dog?
Nah. I'd say a rat. Size of a rat.
Oh, that's a pretty big cockroach.
It's a big cockroach. It's probably
Jesus.
not a cockroach. In the movie, they have mini faces. So I think it's a callback to that kind of, You ready?
Yes, okay. Yeah, hit me with it.
You got a calculator, mate? I can do this. I can do this bit.
I think you were always better at math than I was.
Here we go. All right. Storyline. 10.
Whoa.
It had to be. Like, it was... In a game that was so fun to just play, the storyline was still the outlier. Like, meaning it was the best part of it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Feel mechanics. A little bit slow, but all around really good. 8.5. Marked it down a little bit because there's some... Look, with all these games, it's kind of like Red Dead Redemption. There was some input delay. And it probably could have done a little bit more around like running. I would have liked to be able to run a little bit faster. Okay. But outside of that, over the shoulder worked perfectly. Aiming was fine. Like flowed pretty smooth. You've got a thought.
Well,
in
yeah,
mind.
no, I'm just sort of 8.5 is pretty strong, and you've just given it 2 quick negatives. You sure you want to stick that one in?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
We're going to push on here. Challenge and entertainment, 9.5. Did not want to put it down. I was very tired at work some days because I may have played this till like 1 or 2 a.m.
I mean,
it's that kind of game.
Hell, if it's that kind of game, it deserves its ranking, because if it's making you not go to bed and you're playing it that much, then give it the credit it's deserved.
Exactly. Character build, 9.
Oh.
Like from start to finish, the person is at the beginning all confused to the realization he comes to at the end, and the ending, man, the ending.
Good ending. Okay,
oh my
all
God.
right,
There's
okay.
nothing better than going through a whole game, watching your character grow, and then actually getting given that ending. So phenomenal. Gave that a 9. Loot and extras, 8.5. Did what it did it well, nothing special.
Shit, okay, all right. So, high on all marks.
9.1.
Ooh.
Which I actually really back. Like we've always said that it doesn't matter how big a game is, it doesn't matter how long it GTA 6 is going to take them 4 years by the time it launches, or maybe even more. I don't know how long they've been developing that. It doesn't matter how long it is. If the game does what it does well, it's entertaining, it has a great ending, the storyline's there, the mechanics are okay, the characters come from start to finish, you enjoy it, you can't put it down, it deserves its time in the sun. So I think 9.1 is really representative.
And so at the end of the game, when your stats came up, what was the game hours and how many times did you die?
I think I ended up dying I think it was 11 times.
Well, that's pretty good.
I think game hours were about 24.
Okay.
And all the other stats are largely irrelevant. Really it depends on how you played it.
Yeah.
But ended up getting close to 1,000 kills kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
okay. All right, nice.
It keeps you entertained, on your toes.
Good variety of enemies,
Yeah, really good variety of enemies. They change from area to area. There's also the main sword guy who's called Pyramid Head. He makes
Pyramid Head?
Yeah.
Is he
the guy
from
with the
Silent
huge
Hill?
Yeah, the cone with the sword. He makes a really good appearance in one of the areas.
Okay.
And you actually kind of have to face off with him a couple of times.
All right.
When you make a game adaptation, or when you have a movie and you've got a game and it's also a sequel, how much can you change the enemies really? Like it is Silent Hill.
Yeah.
But in terms of the difficulty they presented, and there's still a good variety. Like I would say that there's at least 15 to 20 different enemies and then mini bosses in this game.
Okay.
And keep in mind it's a horror game. So I thought pretty well done.
Nice. All right, 9.1. What does that put it around? What's it up against? What's it knocked down the ladder?
Hang on, let's just
Whilst you're looking, we recently launched a trailer on Instagram,
yes.
which we sort of did a little bit of video editing on,
and it keeps presenting itself to me on my other Instagram.
Yeah,
I
I've
love
seen it a few
paying for my
times.
own clicks. It's nothing better than that. Here we go. The leaderboard, 9.1, just below Doom Eternal and just above Outer Wilds.
Okay, all right, nice.
It's so funny. I only seem to review my favorite games because they're two of my games.
Well, yeah, I mean, but we've talked about this before of going, why do a full-on deep review for a game that you didn't like that you probably ended up dropping halfway through? And which is why I think the first impressions is probably pretty good, because then we can honestly talk to a game that we then didn't devote the full fucking 60 hours or whatever it ends up being.
Yeah.
You can
And
still
give
have a
it
pretty good
some time.
semblance on it,
Yeah.
which is always the thing that I really baffles me with some of these sort of YouTubers and people who review games, and they churn out the content as quick as the games get launched, and they obviously get early access to some of these games, but you're like, you didn't play Kingdom Come Deliverance the 100 hours through to then roll straight on a week later to then do the next game. You're talking about it in a pre-launch kind of demo-y kind of way.
Yeah, and I also think that as you get older, providing you're not a streamer, which a lot of these guys that do these reviews
full-time
are,
game reviewer, yeah.
It's an investment.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
going to be probably the only game I play for the best part of the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm also putting money into it. So if you're just giving me a review just to help out that developer and publisher make a bit of money, that's not really the best reason to be reviewing a game, is it? Especially for the people, especially for your target audience, which for a lot of these games and the people that watch these streamers are our age, between kind of 25 to 40, game in their spare time. That's why it's called the evening gamer. The review matters, and it needs to be worth the investment, not only financially, but how much time you're actually going to give to it.
But also, I think it's not tooting our own horn, but the fact that we're talking about it with a level of confidence because we have played it through, and it's, most game reviewers probably talk about it in a early access taste test kind of vibe of a first impressions, but they kind of then play it off almost as a much deeper review.
Yeah, anything in our leaderboard that scores over 8.5 is basically our commitment of saying like I'd hang my reputation on that.
Yeah, that's a pretty
being
must play
considered
kind
a
of
good
game.
game.
That's up
100%. I've got I've got a question from a hat for you.
Yeah.
But we're doing first impressions, aren't we?
Well, we've sort of veered around Avowed of first impressions on it, so I don't know if we want to spend much more time on it. But yeah, I think the takeaways for me were Avowed was like just really good gameplay, really well designed levels and world, but just dog awful storyline.
Yeah.
And like one little thing I did, so it's got a character creation screen, where you go through, you make your character. I'm sitting there with the misso and I'm, getting her input on what I'm going to make this character. And the whole thing in the game is like this parasitic thing that ruptures people and animals and plants and overgrown.
It reminded me of the same storyline as the Second Horizon. There's this kind of fungus that's made its way through the lands.
Yeah, exactly. So you are a godlike, and it means you've been touched by a god. And in the Avowed universe, there's all these different gods. But being godlike is a rare thing, but you have often a physical thing that shows you to be a godlike.
Yeah, like a mushroom on your head or something like that. Yeah.
So
and people notice that and they're kind of a bit racist.
They comment on it. They comment, they're like, I haven't seen a godlike in a while. Like, you guys are weird. So I'm making the character, and one of the options for the godlike sort of touch on this person, and it's all over the face. You can basically have a mushroom sprouted out of your forehead and some silly shit. But one of the options is bark over the face. And so my misso is like, you got to go the bark over the face.
Become Groot.
So my chick is running around and you literally cannot see her face. She's just got a face of bark. And like immediately I'm like, okay, yes, exactly. If you've made this an option, I hope NPCs comment on the fact, or there's some explanation how she's able to walk around and not walk into every fucking, wall thing, there's no reference whatsoever.
Yeah, there's also a lot of blood vessels in your brain.
Yeah,
what happened to them?
I'm playing as a mage, I'm sticking to it. So she's got a grimoire book where she's reading her spells from. How the fuck's she reading that? What's the point of having the book if you can't read?
This reminds me of like a cartoon that obviously you love as well. I think you actually talked me into watching it, Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
How their commitment to staying true to literal, like to making things literal.
Yeah.
No plot holes.
Yeah.
Is like, I think it's rubbed off on us a little bit because we obviously look for it in the games that we play. You can't sit there with that. Well, hang on a minute. How is she fucking reading that?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a fairly fine question to ask. Going like, if you're going to put it in the game, make it make sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a bit silly. Like,
and those 1%ers make good games.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people are making the correlation for Avowed with Skyrim because it's Obsidian, and that's sort of, they've done the Fallout New Vegas. They've got a few games behind them that, have largely been quite, highly rated. And so then people in Skyrim, when you go into a town and you pickpocket, the guards see you, they get kind of annoyed at you. You can then fight them. And if you just go up to a guard anywhere in Skyrim and just start hacking at them, you fight them. And then more guards come and it causes a fucking issue. And you get a bounty on you and you get run out of town or you're put in prison. In Avowed, I'm stealing the dude's meal from in front of him. No reaction.
Yeah.
If I then go up to a guard and I go, yo, guard, like, fuck you. There was one part, I went into an area and there was these two guards standing outside this village or something, and the pair of them were like, what are you doing here? And my options came up on my screen to be like, attack, take a bribe, accept a bribe to walk away, something other. And I'm sitting there and I put it down just to do something else. I look down and my cat has rolled on my controller and I've accepted the bribe. And I was like, I wanted to fight them. I didn't want to fucking accept the bribe. Like, I'm as always, I'm playing a good fucking person because I'm incapable of playing a bad person in these stupid fucking games. And so I'm like, no, that's annoying. I know they're bad guys. I want to kill them. So I then start swiping at them and there's no reaction. Because I'm already
so confused. Like, what the fuck?
Well, they're nothing. They just stood
we
there.
Just paid you, dude.
Exactly. I was like, so I had to load a save to go fight these fuckers because my cat accepted the bribe. Ridiculous.
I could just imagine the confusion.
Really annoying.
Yeah, it gives Dragon's Dogma 2 vibes for me. Are you playing
weird.
first person or third person? You know
First. I'm playing first.
You know you can play third person?
Yeah. I like first, though. First kind of really works for this. I feel like I'm a lot more in it, and it's kind of cool where you've got a spider leaping at you and you've got to block at the right time and stuff.
I'm playing third person.
I'd try
Just
first,
makes more
honestly. Try it. Because
I
I switched to third when I was running around that beach and I was like, and then I switched it back and now I'm really enjoying it in first person. But I'm basically running this character who's got a grimoire and a wand. And so that's like one, and you click Y, and then she then pulls out a sword and a shield. So you can kind of do really good builds, and like the way the levels up work of selecting which sort of skill sets really work for that. And I'm playing it on hard. And playing it on hard, it's hard sometimes. I'm quite taken aback.
So.
Well, it's sort of it gives me vibes of sort of a fable-y kind of palette of very colourful kind of vibe and simplistic kind of stories and character build. One thing that really fucking annoys me about it is you get all this loot. You get so much loot in this game and it's paced out a fair, nice way, and the leveling up system is pretty well thought out.
Nice.
But you get a team, like a Dragon's Age Origin team, Mass Effect team.
Yeah.
There's a fish-looking dude. There's a little pixie bitch. And then there's like some
great
fucking,
descriptions.
What is she? She's like a mech kind of, builds
like
mechs.
a cyborg.
Sort of. Not
sort
like
of.
It's like magic mechy kind of shit or something.
It's very much like this is very much like a mystical game.
Is what they call it. Yeah.
It's not really futuristic.
But they're all shit. As in, like, playing it on hard, they're going down all the time. All the time they're going down.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, fuck.
You're just a medic at that point.
Well, exactly. So I'm like healing them up and then fighting at the same time. So you're having to maneuver a fair bit. But I got all these weapons and items. I can't give them to my crew. All I've got is the most bland selection of 4 skill sets that I can just choose, do this, do this, do this. These are your skills. And they've only got 4 to pick from. So you can only pick, and eventually you can get all 4. But I want to give him a mace. I want to give him a grand fucking shield thing to be better. But there's no option for that.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
You want to kind of build them. Because you know best.
Other games have come before and given you the option to give things to your companions, and if you now do not have that, you're behind the 8 ball. It's like, when you start going, okay, Skyrim, you've got a new Skyrim or whatever it is, any of these kind of games, Outer Wilds, not Outer Wilds, there was that other one that whatever the fuck it's called, Outer Worlds.
Yeah, I got one.
Nailed it. And if you don't have the ability to give them stuff, you're just sort of like this is like your competitor is ahead of you. It's just, it kind of annoyed me.
No, I hear you.
Anyway, so Avowed. Am I going to finish it? Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, for me, it's an in-between game. What I call an in-between game. I'll play it when I have nothing else to play, or when I, when the GF's getting ready and I know I've got like 40 minutes, I'll play Avowed.
Yeah,
but it's not something I'm going to sit down and be like, this is going to take up today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can tell it's an Xbox Live kind of game. Like it fits that mold.
Like a Game Pass kind of game?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm going to give you a choice today.
Okay.
Do you want question from a hat?
Yes.
Or a fucking riddle?
Oh, well, I mean, you're putting the riddles up on the gram and they're getting some bites.
By the way, do you know the answer to the last one?
No.
You have a go. It's been out for like 2 weeks.
I feel like this is. I'm
going to read it out to you again. You're going to have another guess. You ready?
No.
Let me clear the throat here. With honour torn twixt right and wrong, my tale is told in story and song. Who am I with heart so bold, in a world without law, fierce and cold? Who am I?
Oh, God.
Come on, guy. A world without law. Outlaw with outlaw. A world without law.
See, I think I did see the answer, and now I'm just trying to remember the answer.
It's Arthur Morgan.
Fuck, yeah. There you go.
Fuck.
So,
do you want a new riddle?
The only famous outlaw.
Do you want a new... I was really trying to give that to you. Do you want a new riddle, or do you want a question from a hat?
Question from the hat. Question from the hat.
I was going to put on some background music while you thought about it. You want a question from a hat?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favourite era of gaming? And I mean a time that you remember back when you were like, That was good because I feel like with Kyle uninstalling Apex, it's the end of an era for us, of a really great era of gaming with Apex. Like that's what I'd consider an era, like 4 or 5 years of potentially the same game or maybe 1 or 2 games from the same franchise that dominated that you remember really fondly.
Oh, jeez. I mean...
Do you want me to go first?
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Modern Warfare 2, baby girl. I look back on that and I just think fucking like that was when multiplayer FPS gaming was at its peak. That's when kill streaks became the fucking kill streaks that they were. Nukes were coming in. Search and destroy was on the rise. It was fucking 2010, get home from school, whack it on after homework, play with your mates. It was the first experience I had with headset gaming. Like that is an era of gaming that will stick with you. And there's only a number of them.
I hear you on that. I'm thinking back in that era, and it was like around then there was really just Modern Warfare or Battlefield. And they were sort of the 2 top liners that everybody, you'd talk to anybody who was gaming and you'd be one or the other would be where you were at.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and I remember playing Modern Warfare and then I switched to Battlefield for a stint and it found I enjoyed Modern Warfare more just because...
It's a bit more, it was a bit quicker.
It was faster paced and it was more rinse repeat. Whereas Battlefield, I felt like, you know, you'd charge into an area.
Battlefield was like go to war.
Yeah, you'd spawn, get on a boat, ride the boat for 5 minutes to get to the war zone and then get popped by a sniper and then you're back at the spawn point and you're like, okay,
I'll take a fucking helicopter.
There's 10 minutes. Or you'd get in a helicopter and then fly into a building and you'd be like, fucking spawn again. Like,
Battlefield's had a great idea, which I think could have been executed in some areas.
Yeah,
But another...
There's a game, Death Proof or something. God, it's like a World War II game that's out at the moment, and it's super realistic. And you've got no reticle, so it's like you literally look down the gun and you don't know if you kill someone or not, especially if you're sniping across map. And I've seen like tons of gaming's hell let loose. Fuck yeah!
I was about to say it's just a military simulator.
It kind of is, but it's like World War II kind of vibes, and it looks pretty good. You should check out some clips on that.
Yeah, nice. Another era of gaming, which I was hoping you were going to mention, was Destiny 1.
Yeah, I was. It did cross my mind thinking about it, and I was gonna let's hold off.
We were up till like 3 a.m. doing something.
We were certainly let's hold off on talking about Destiny, and I'll give my answer for best era of gaming in the next episode. Okay. We'll leave him on a cliffhanger.
Let's do it. Hey, give us a little tickle there, mate.
Give us a tickle.
Give us a review. Write in info@theeveninggamer.com.au.
As you know, you'll hear back from us.
Yes.
You know, and we'll respond, and we love to hear from you. Your favorite games. Recommend one for us. A game that you'd like to hear us review on the pod. If you're playing Monster Hunter, persuade me to get it. I want to know if it's worth my money and my time.
That's it. And if you have one friend that you want to bring along for the ride, you want to turn them into an evening gamer, do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just get in on the ground,
guys.
Get
involved, baby.
Yeah.
But most importantly, don't be an NPC.
And keep leveling up.
Thanks, everyone.